What happens when a child disappears? There are no screams, no struggle, no reliable witnesses, just a void. A moment when life, as we know it, dissolves into a fog of unanswered questions. These are not solved murder cases. They are stories of silence. 3 children on 3 different continents who simply evaporated. They left behind only the unbearable pain of their parents and the shadow of a mystery that police, forensic science, and time have never been able to unravel. 3 cases of children who disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only silence, frustration, and the memory of those innocent faces which may never be seen again. In the United States, the case of Kyron Horman is a grim reminder that danger can hide in plain sight. It was June 4th, 2010, in Portland, Oregon. Kyron, a 7-year-old boy with a captivating smile and thick-rimmed glasses, was excited. It was the day of the science fair at Skyline Elementary School. His stepmother, Mary Boyle, drove him there. The last visual record of Kyron is a photo taken by Terry. He stands in front of his project. The photo captures a moment of normalcy, an instant that, in retrospect, became the final boundary of Kyron's known life. Terry claimed to have left Kyron walking towards his classroom around 8:45 a.m. She said she left the school shortly after, but Kyron never reached the room. The absence was only noticed at the end of the day, when he did not get off the school bus. Panic set in. The search for Kyron Horman became the largest criminal investigation in Oregon's history. The focus of the investigation quickly turned to Mary Boyle. Her alibi for the hours following the disappearance was vague and inconsistent. She claimed to have gone to a gym and then to a plant nursery, but evidence did not corroborate her story. The situation became even darker when Kyron's father, Kyron Horman, discovered that Terry had attempted to hire a landscaper to murder Kyron months earlier. Although there was no direct proof that Terry had harmed Kyron, police considered her the prime suspect. As suspicions about Terry grew even more when 2 witnesses told the police that they saw a second person in Terry's car while the stepmother was with Kyron inside the school. Despite all the media attention and a massive investigation, Kyron Horman has never been found. His case remains open, a knot of suspicion and silence, and Terry has never been arrested due to lack of evidence. Now, we travel back in time and cross the Atlantic to Ireland in 1977. The case of Mary Boyle is the country's longest-running missing child case, and it carries the weight of allegations of corruption and failures in the investigation. Mary, a 6-year-old girl, was visiting her grandparents in Cashellard, County Donegal. It was March 18th, a cold and damp day. The disappearance occurred over an incredibly short distance. Mary was with her uncle, who was going to return a ladder to a neighbor about 400 meters from the house. The uncle said Mary got tired and decided to walk back to her grandparents' house alone. 400 meters, a walk of less than 5 minutes. Mary Boyle never completed that short journey. The family started the search immediately. The location was remote, but the area was quickly scoured. Police arrived, but the initial investigation was marked by shocking incompetence. The spot where Mary was last seen was, according to reports, trampled by volunteers and onlookers, destroying any potential forensic evidence. Over the decades, the case was reopened and reviewed. Focus fell on a local man who was considered a suspect by police at the time. But here lies the darkest part of the case: allegations of political interference. 2 retired detectives publicly claimed they received orders from above not to press the main suspect, an individual with political connections. The Mary Boyle case is not just about a disappearance, it is about an alleged cover-up that protected the culprit and condemned a family to uncertainty. Mary's twin sister and her mother, Anne Boyle, have spent their lives fighting for justice. but the mystery of Mary Boyle remains sealed by silence and controversy. What happened in those 400 meters of rural road? The answer, if it exists, is buried under decades of secrets and perhaps under the shadow of corruption. On January 26, 1966, Australia was celebrating Australia Day. The country was living in an era of perceived innocence where children could play freely without the constant vigilance we know today. It was on this day that Jane, Anna, and Grant Beaumont disappeared from Glenelg Beach in Adelaide. The children took a bus alone to the beach, just a few miles from home. It was a common habit. They were supposed to return on the noon bus. They did not. Witnesses reported seeing the three playing with a tall, thin, blonde man on the beach. The most disturbing detail: the children were seen buying pastries at a bakery with a £1 note. They did not have this note when they left home. This suggested the man had given them money. The search for the Beaumont children was unprecedented. Thousands of volunteers scoured the area. The case dominated headlines for years. The mystery even attracted a famous Dutch psychic who travelled to Australia but was unable to help. The disappearance of the Beaumont children was not just a crime, it was a cultural watershed. It marked the end of Australian innocence. Parents stopped letting their children play alone. Distrust settled into society. Over the years, several suspects have been investigated, including notorious serial killers and a local man, Harry Phipps, who lived near the beach and was accused by his own son. Excavations were carried out, but no conclusive evidence has ever been found. The Beaumont case is proof that sometimes the mystery is so complete that it defies logic. 3 children, seen by dozens of people, disappeared in broad daylight in a public place without leaving a single trace that would lead to a conclusion. What unites these cases, besides the tragedy, is the absolute silence. There are no bodies, there are no verified confessions, there are no clues that have withstood the test of time. In each story, there is a moment of human failure. The inconsistency of Terry Horman, the alleged political interference in the Boyle case, the naivety of pre-1966 Australia. But at the heart of it all is the inexplicable absence of a child. Thank you for following this journey into the inexplicable. Leave your comment below with your theory on which of these cases is most likely to be solved. Share this video so more people can learn about these stories and, who knows, a new clue. Subscribe to the channel for more documentaries on the deepest mysteries of true crime. Until next time.